Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. My name is Anisa Shahmina binti Ahmad Sultan. My matric number is 2115484 and I'm from group 4 and will be presenting on pure monopoly. So what is pure monopoly? Pure monopoly exists when a single firm is the sole producer of a product which has no close substitutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nordina Alisha binti Faizal. My matric number is 2114474 and I will be presenting about characteristics of pure monopoly and barriers to entry in monopoly. Let's look at 4 characteristics of a monopoly. First, as we already know, monopoly works as a single firm, which means the market consists only of just one seller. A buyer has to buy from that seller only because the items are not produced by any other seller. Second, the monopolists produce product that has no close substitute, meaning the products are clearly differentiated and unique. Thus, to determine the condition of no close substitute is by using cross-price elasticity of demand. Monopolists have a price-making power. This is because, as I said before, they offer a unique products to consumer, which means they has the ability and market power to influence price. For example, if a firm wants to produce more of a product, then they have to lower the price of the product. Last but not least, there are high barriers to entry. Barriers are usually in the form of financial and technological that enable a firm to retain its power of monopoly. It creates an additional cost for potential entrants before gaining entry to a market. There are certain industries that require high levels of resources to be dedicated to research and development, which are out of reach for new firms looking to enter a market. So, as we all know, there are 4 characteristics of pure monopoly. Now, let's look at barriers to entry in monopoly. First, a firm can control over physical resources. They may own a certain factors of production that need to be used to produce goods. Moreover, control over the resources enable a firm to monopolize the production of the goods by not allowing other firms to purchase the resources. Second, legal and regulatory barriers. Ownership law or patent rights can ensure the inventor of a good does not suffer losses. A firm's exclusive rights can block other firms from entering the industry, and this will enable a firm to remain as a sole producer in the industry. Next, there are also financial barriers, which mean if production of a goods requires a large financial capital, this can prevent from small resources firm from entering the industry. Next, ownership of specific production technology. Production of a specific good may involve the use of complicated and modern technology. These factors causes certain firms with limited technological capabilities to be unable to enter an industry. Lastly, barriers are imposed by the government. Barriers are usually imposed on industry that produce basic necessities of goods. It is to ensure the firms in the industry are able to implement large scale of production and also enjoy economic scale.
My name is Siti Saufia binti Zakaria and my matric number 2021668, and I will be presenting about the benefit and drawback of a pure monopoly.
The term monopoly refers to a company that dominates the whole market. Monopoly markets are those in which there is only one seller and the product is unique and non-substitutable. In a monopoly market, there is no competition. There are benefits and drawbacks to having a monopoly market, even if it is discouraged in countries with open markets. The following are the benefits and drawbacks of a pure monopoly. Let me see one by one the advantage and disadvantage of pure monopoly. First of all, the advantage of pure monopoly is improved efficiency with economies of scale. By using economies of scale, the monopolistic business can cut its long-term average costs. For example, a small business would be unable to participate in the rail infrastructure industry. In order to get started in this type of business, a small company will require both money and expertise. It may be more efficient to have one large-scale organization manage such operations at a low cost. Continuous development to benefit the society. Monopolies are regarded the most dynamic and effective businesses. The majority of these companies conduct constant research and development in order to offer more products to clients at much lower price. As an example, Google is able to retain a level of monopoly in the search engine sector. Every day, Google's platform improves in order to better serve its customers. International competitiveness. When a company has a domestic monopoly, it has a significant competitive advantage when it comes to expanding its operation into overseas markets. As a result of strong domestic profitability, the corporation is able to invest more money in the international market. Next, let's see the disadvantage of pure monopoly, which is, firstly, higher prices for consumers. Monopoly's firm is the sole provider of the entire market output. Hence, the monopolist can charge a higher price than in a competitive market. Monopolist firms can increase the price without worrying about the competition, since no competition is available in a monopoly market. Potential of this economy skills. Monopolistic firms try to put much output into the market as they could because due to the no competition in the market. Large companies will experience production processes becoming less efficient after a specific point in production output. The company will experience an increase in average per unit cost when they start to produce an additional unit of output beyond a certain level. This is known as diseconomies of scale. Lack of choice for consumers. Consumers will be dissatisfied because there is no product alternative available for them. Only one choice is available in the market despite whether it is up to the quality and within the customer's expected price range. As we can see, poor monopoly come with their own set of benefits as well as drawbacks.
Examples of pure monopoly are relatively rare. However, there are many examples of less pure forms. In most cities, government-regulated public utilities or government-owned companies like natural gas and water companies are all monopolies or virtually so. One of the examples of pure monopoly in Malaysia is Tenaga Nasional Berhad, also known as TNB. TNB is the sole provider of electricity to consumers across the entire country, both on and off the main peninsula. Small independent suppliers of electricity sell their output to TNB, which in turn distribute it amongst properties in Malaysia. TNB is a natural monopoly due to its high startup cost of setting up power grids and power stations. The company also requires a large workforce of varying skill sets, thus increasing the cost of operating. Due to this, it is logical to operate TNB as a natural monopoly and economically beneficial too. Another example of pure monopoly in Malaysia is Air Selangor. Pengurusan Air Selangor Suria Berhad or Air Selangor, that's used to be known as Syarikat Bekalan Air Selangor, Syabas, is the only company in Selangor which supplies water to households. The company remains the sole water supplier direct to consumers. To start its business as a monopoly, Air Selangor is required to invest a huge amount of capital, mainly for the startup of water dams and water treatment plants. Astro is also another company that used to be a pure monopoly. Astro Malaysia Holdings has a near monopoly on pay TV, radio, publications, and digital media in its home market. More than half of Malaysia's TV viewing households gets the company 170 plus channels, which are delivered through satellite dishes and over the internet. Astro's programming includes both domestic and international content in multiple languages, including Chinese, English, Malay, and Tamil. However, Astro is no longer a monopoly thanks to the 4 companies that is allowed to compete in the same market in Malaysia. This is because the period for exclusive rights and privileges, which was accorded to Astro to broadcast content to public through satellite services, was terminated on 28 February 2017. Hence, with the availability of other various platforms, the public have a choice of content either through free non-subscription broadcasting or through subscription broadcast.